Hey!
Hey,
Welcome to the F1 Show podcast. I'm the host with the most, Wayne, and this is the man in the pits with the tits, Brendan. Another round of applause. Look at that. Here we are.
Okay, you noticed?
Oh, he's in a different pit. What pit? Melbourne. Hey, he's relevant.
Hey, everyone that's in the F1s in Melbourne just now, mate.
Right now, in that.
Why are you not here?
I've got to watch out. I've got to take care of Greta.
Oh, Greta. Right. Okay.
Greta. She's been there a while now. We're in front of Brendan Hartley's car. I don't know if she's worked out that Brendan Hartley doesn't race anymore, but she's been there a while.
She's doing her job, mate. She's paid an hourly rate.
So what we could do first is having a laugh because, having a laugh.
Are you having a laugh? Is she having a laugh?
Okay. So let's have the applause for that. Okay. The only thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, stop clapping. The only thing I want to talk about is how many times I was caught out by April Fools this year. Brilliant. That was twice.
Yeah. That was. Wow, was it twice?
It was twice. It was Rosberg coming back and Vettel retiring. Those were the two that got me. They're quite plausible. The Vettel ones.
Yeah, they are, and that's the basis of a good joke, though, my friend.
Well, no, I can. Let's have a drink to that. But I've got 19 crimes. 19.
But
I don't know what.
Nico did say in 2000 and whatever, 18 and 14, I think it was.
18, 14.
Yeah,
18,
2000.
18. Yeah.
If the Vegas race came back on the calendar, he'd come out of retirement. That was a genuine quote. That one.
That's a genuine quote. And but I mean, I can see him coming back. He must be bored senseless. He must.
Well, he's doing his Extreme E stuff.
He does
he's
a
racing
lot.
Hamilton in that.
In what?
He's racing Hamilton. Hamilton's got a team as well.
What on the computer
on the
game?
Extreme E? Yeah, he's actually a team principal for the Extreme E.
Extreme E.
It's quite cool, actually. I watched it. It was down at the Bovington Tank Museum, and it's quite It's quite an interesting format.
Are we being sponsored by the Bovington Tank Museum now? Is this
a good day out, my friend?
It's a good day out. Have you got a leaflet there you want to put up and show everybody? I mean,
I've got a guidebook I can show you, but if you want a good day, if you like engines, it's a great day out. It's a grand day out, Wallace.
Wow. We're a Formula One podcast and we're promoting the Bovington Tank Museum. You heard it here first on the F1 Show podcast. I got caught out by that. The Vettel one's quite understandable. I thought he's had a couple of races out and he's probably enjoying his life. Wouldn't you think?
You think?
Yeah.
You think he's enjoyed it, though?
Watching Nico Hulkenberg come in last might have.
Yeah.
That's what you'd want, that though, wouldn't you? If like you were sick, you don't want the parachuted in kind of driver getting in the top 10.
It's the last thing you want, isn't it?
No, you don't want that.
No.
You don't want people questioning not only your hairstyle but your seat in an F1 car. You don't want
but then that's why the Hulk's a good sub, you know, because he's the best. He's always been the best of the rest.
The best. Even he was last on the first race. He's completely gang out last. Poor fella. I mean, he really wanted to impress as well, but you know.
Oh
yeah. That was loud. That was a loud bell. We're going loud today. I think the sound problems. So should we go straight to pit talk? I think because I've got a lot to talk about. You've got a lot to talk about.
Let's go.
Let's go. Pit talk. Okay, pit talk it is. Pit talk it is. You want to kick this off with a bit? Let's get that Merc news out of the way. They're talking about upgrades.
Yeah, a lot of press about the upgrades. Basically, they're they had a big wing to try and generate downforce because their floor wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
But the wing's causing too much drag, which is why they're slow. So they're trying to find a happy medium. So they've got enough downforce to keep the car on the track, not too much so that it porpoises.
Yeah,
and
that's what they said. There was a lot of talk of not counting in the DRS as well. So like when the DRS is open, there's even more downforce. So then the porpoising gets worse. That's what they were saying. That was my tummy. Did you hear that?
No.
Oh, I'll have to try harder. But so they talked about every time the DRS was open, the porpoising was just manic because of the high downforce that was going on. But really? I don't understand that because there's less downforce, isn't it? Is there more downforce?
Well, that would have meant that the speed at which the floor was working at kicked in, because the faster you go, the more suction you would get off the floor.
Yeah.
So they've obviously designed it to create downforce at too high a speed, I would think. Yeah. So that's why they had to have the bigger wing at the back. Yeah. Which is causing too much drag. It's providing downforce, but it's causing too much drag. So they kind of need to get it somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle. Yeah. So what upgrades have they got coming?
A different wing and some floor
a rear
upgrades.
wing. The back wing on the front. Different wing.
A different rear wing. Yeah. And they're gonna, because if you compare them, the Red Bull and the Mercedes rear wing, from last week, then they are very, very different.
Have we got pictures of that yet? Are you going to show us pictures of that?
Get you one, yeah.
Are you going to put it in the chat, or are you going to put it into WhatsApp?
Well, I think I can share the screen. I think.
Oh, go on. Let's have it.
Might take some while.
You're going to get rid of that screensaver of whatever you've got on there. It might take a couple of seconds. Well, yeah. I'm a bit worried about Melbourne. They've changed the track. They've put another DRS zone in. For me, I don't know whether is the DRS going to be as important? Are we just going to get people doing the same thing as in the last race?
What's the issue with
There's 2 activation points, but 4 DRS zones.
Right, let me try and share screen.
Go on. Don't try. We do in this podcast.
All right, let's do.
And you're showing me the Mercedes updates here.
Disabled screen sharing. I'll send it to you.
Did I?
Yeah.
Advanced screen sharing options, multiple. Well, here we go. There we go. No, so I've undisabled it. I'm like, Jesus.
Oh, there we go.
I just said that.
Right.
Here we go. I can see that. Oh wow. I went all dark and then. Oh.
If you look at the Red Bull, the lower part of the Red Bull.
Yeah.
Wing, right?
Yeah.
Compared to the lower part of the Mercedes wing, Mercedes is much bigger. Right, that's the bit that doesn't move. The top part is the bit that moves.
Yeah. Flips open.
And you see that, that's a lot smaller on the Mercedes one.
Yeah, I can see.
So even when it's open for DRS, they're still getting a massive amount of downforce.
Right.
Off that back wing, so they've got the balance between the open flappy bit, the upper wing, and the lower wing. They've got the balance wrong. Whereas if you look at the Red Bull, it's probably about half and half, maybe a little bit bigger on the DRS flap.
Yeah. Someone's done a nice little sketch of both of them as well. Isn't that nice? Signed it. I do love these more curvy kind of designs. There's I've watched a few old races, go figure, and some of the Renaults of the early 80s had that kind of very curvy kind of design. It looks very 80s, those back wings.
Yeah.
So you think Mercedes, you think they're going to get it right? I don't think you can count them out. I just don't.
No. There's the shall we say, the more mainstream press are pushing Hamilton to come out big and come out fighting this weekend.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But then last week they were all saying that he's had enough and he's going to retire. So what do we know?
What's going on? But I do hope he is up there in the mix again. And yeah, he needs it. Oh, Russell getting up there. You don't,
Yeah. Well, that's what they said. It was a fine balance between the two cars, getting them into the small window where everything's running sweet.
Yeah.
They just nailed it on his side of the garage, and Hamilton didn't. They were just slightly out of it. But there we go. Right.
Sure. Right. So what I wanted to talk about briefly was I've got about 1 million windows open now. I've got to try and find the right picture.
Which one's playing the music?
The music. The music is added on afterwards. What are you talking about? Oh Jesus! I've got 1 million windows open here, and now I'm trying to find the 2 windows that I had open of Albert Park.
Oh, the changes in the track.
They've changed the track.
Yeah, this will be interesting because my only recent experience of Albert Park is playing the Formula One racing game.
Oh, on what console would you be?
Xbox. It's the F1 game, so it's the same track on every course, obviously, but it's just on Xbox S, I think it is.
Oh, Jesus.
The digital online one.
You know, and it's always the way. As soon as you're put on the spot, I had both of them open a few seconds ago, and now I can't find them. So there's.
You saying you can't perform under pressure, Wayne?
I can't perform under pressure. You can ask.
That's kind of good. Nobody's watching, then there's extra pressure that you're not getting.
Albert Park circuit. I literally just downloaded them. Hold on. I know where they are.
Talk amongst yourself, please, ladies and gents, or lady and gent, or
or non-binary.
Yeah, whoever's viewing this.
Open to all of them, and now I'm annoyed. Look, so this is the new Albert Park. Okay, now they've curved out this bit here. I don't know if you can see where my
yeah.
They've curved this out, and they've made this almost a bit tighter. I don't know. It's
sharper.
I don't know. See, now I've got to find the old Albert Park, which I had as a window.
Well, at least we can look at this one while we're looking at it.
Yeah, we can. Or people listening on the podcast, if you could describe all the corners while I do this, that would be great.
You come out the first straight into the first almost 90-degree right-hander into a sweeping left-hander.
No, that's really engaging because I'm on literally. Let me just push this.
Now you've taken it away. Now I can't see it.
Right, go on. Hold.
And then a long, gentle sweep round to the right on a big straight, probably flat out. And then a 90-degree right-hander into a sweeping left-hander, into a flat-out right-hander, I would say, at number 5.
Okay.
And then you would come full speed on a curve to the right up to a wide, high-speed right-hander, soft left hand, sweeping right hand curve. I didn't tell you what I did on Monday. And then you come through to number 9 corner, which is the new one they've put in. I would say 10's a corner. So 9's a right hander, and then 10's a big sweeping left hander all the way through to 11, I would say. But that would be flat out, wouldn't it?
Here we go. Right, so Albert Park circuit redesign. So every time I click on it, it goes to the redesign. Right, okay. So let's save it with this. Now I've saved it.
And then we got corner 11 is 45 left, and then a 45 right for corner 12, and then a high speed soft corner around to 13. 13.
Okay, so here's
right hand.
Here's what it used to look like a solid right hand.
So you've got.
I'm going to drink to that, and we're going to put some can after that.
That should be a bit more of a message.
I'm not. Are we going that way with this podcast? We are. They've done a lot to this corner, as you can see here.
Yeah.
They've done a lot to that corner. They've just made it almost flat out, haven't they? Basically.
Yeah. That's going to be a long straight. So where are the DRS sectors then?
Oh, why did you ask me that? Why did you ask me that? There's 4 of them. I've got enough. Yeah, you got. I've got them here.
I'm going to be able to show it on the screen.
I've got them here. I've got them opened up in another window here. This is the kind of the problem when you're okay. So this is coming up with the old old DRS sections here. I thought that was a new one. So there's the old DRS sections, but there's 4 DRS sections, and I don't think it's needed. Let's just cut to that. So yeah, this is more pointy here. Look, pointy, and they've just turned it into a complete right angle now.
Yeah. It's right.
And they've given you another corner here. This feels like another more extreme corner here.
Yeah, rather than a bend.
And the reason for this was, it was stated that it was a bit boring before, not much overtaking. But I don't know whether they've gone too hard on it. So it was almost like, let's put more DRS zones in it, not taking into account that the cars are new as well, and they've been designed differently. This is my worry. Having the old, we're going to get situations like in the last race where the DRS nullifies the effect that actually these cars can get close to each other and overtake anyway. Do you see what I mean? This is what I was trying to say. So these cars can get close enough and overtake anyway. And now the DRS almost becomes just, we'll swap places, and then we'll swap places again, and then we'll swap places again. And if you've got 4 DRS zones, I can't see that getting any better. I can't see it.
It's fun to watch.
It will be, but almost in an artificial way. We had this before with when DRS was first brought in. It's fun to watch, but is it if you think that it's the guy's just letting the guy past? They're not fighting to keep the place because they know it's
an artificial speed advantage. You mean?
Well, yeah, the drivers know it as well. You could see it in the last race where the drivers knew. This is the 2020. Well, this is the changes they've made, and they've shown there's a highlighting there how that one there and that one here, just around here, looks a bit saucier. Looks a bit saucier there, doesn't it? Than it does what we got here. So this is but widening. So they've widened that contour there. They've done this bit. They've done this bit. They've just done a little bit of widening here and on a few of the corners.
Again, great content for people listening.
Yeah, it is a great content, but like we say to them, how many minutes have we done now? They're not here. It's just me and you, mate. And they should go to the YouTube channel and watch it. That's what we should do. No, they shouldn't. Keep listening, guys. We're just talking about all the different bits on the new track. But yeah, I don't think putting more DRS zones in is an answer. There, I've said it. Just said it.
Wow. Straight up
said it. And I think we're going to get a lot of, we'll swap places here, but I know I can catch you here. So strategic overtaking. And so you're not fighting to keep a place. You'll let them go knowing that then you're behind them, and then there will be a DRS, and you just get them when there's a DRS open. Can you see what I mean? It'll be more interesting when the pack's closer together and everybody's blooming DRS is open, but then that nullifies the whole idea of DRS in the first place, doesn't it?
And you're a DRS train.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I wanted to talk about the new track layout. Is it boring track? I don't know. I've seen some exciting races.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of them.
It looks quite an exciting track.
It looks like a pretty track. They've named all the sectors after different drivers. Prost, Brabham there, Clark. Who was the last Australian to win in Australia? Big question for you.
Don't know.
It's Mark Webber, isn't it? Mark Webber won it last. Last Australian to win on Australia. Previously before that, who was that? Do you know?
No idea.
Nor do I. We're going to have to edit in when I did. I did know it about 20 minutes ago, and I thought I would just dazzle you with my nostalgia.
Did you fall asleep or something in between? What happened?
Well, yeah, I had to open a lot of windows on this, and yeah, that's what happened. But so now, what else have we got on Pit Talk? What have we got is the rumours about Monaco. What do you want to say about Monaco?
So Monaco is looking more and more likely that it's going to be off the calendar from 2023.
Personally, I don't believe that will happen. But
why not?
Because that's where they keep all their yachts and that's where they all live. And I'm going to say it straight. No one's listening anyway.
That's where the drivers keep all their stuff, right? It's not where the people that set the course, set the calendar, keep anything. Who's the people who own the rights to F1? Who's the
You're testing
big
me
media
now.
company?
I don't know. Google? Don't they own everything Google now? I thought
No, and it's not Elon Musk either.
I didn't say him. You brought him into it. Who owns it? Who owns Formula One? Are you googling it now? Are we? Yeah. I tell you, I'm
Liberty Media, right?
Liberty Media.
So Liberty Media are an American company, right?
Go on.
And since they've taken over, obviously they've had grandfathered in they've had a lot of grandfathered in contracts. But when those contracts have come up for renewal for whatever reason, they've renewed or changed or moved or whatever to different locations, and it's brought in some quite exciting races. It's brought in a lot of Middle Eastern races. It's brought in.
It's so obvious. It is so obvious that's what it is. It's money, isn't it?
Where's the money, right? And they brought in the American.
Ka-ching, I haven't got it on my soundboard, but it will be there. I'll put it in edit. Don't worry, people.
So the amount of money they earn, right? If you think how expensive it is to put on a Formula One race, right? Think about how much money, right? What would be cheaper, a street circuit? Or
I don't think that tank museum you went to could do it.
They've got a circuit already. An off-road circuit, several of them actually. Very, very interesting day out.
Go on, anyway.
Go on. Street circuits are expensive to put on, right? So the profit margins are low. So you're any way they can reduce that, the better, right? Now you look at how expensive it must be to close the streets in Monaco, right? And to close all that space off and get all that set up for the Grand Prix and the other races that happen there.
So they don't make any money on this, you don't think?
They don't make as much, right?
I don't think so. They don't have a lot of grandstands going off, do they? That's
no. You can just get in somebody's flat, you know. You can rent somebody's flat.
You're
and then
annoying me now because I haven't been to Monaco, aren't you?
Liberty Media get nothing, right?
Right.
But then, so this also harks back to Bernie Ecclestone. It was one of the contracts that he negotiated.
Yeah, he's just for whenever we mention Bernie Ecclestone, I've got to get a little soundbite for that. Bum bum ba. Should we do that one?
So yeah, it was one of the ones that he negotiated. Now it's come up for renegotiation. They've not started. Now it's come up to the end of the contract. They've not started negotiations.
Right.
And there's less than a year left on it. This is the last calendar. And then you look at the amount of races this year. It's 24 races this year? And there's already 23 races being announced for next year.
So there's one missing. There you go. I'm a qualified teacher, and even I can spot.
Well, you specialise in maths, don't you?
I'm not advertising my channel. No. Anyway, so you're saying that because it's all cloaking. I don't reckon so. They do this all the time. Oh, we had this so much with Silverstone over like the past 10 years. Silverstone isn't safe. We're going to drop it. And then you just go, well, it's not safe. Look at Monaco. Oh, no. It's all about money. They always say safety when they're talking about money. It's BS. But the thing is, Monaco is not an exciting race to watch. It's great scenery, not an exciting race to watch. And the other problem is, well, here's the other problem. And I was watching a YouTube video on this. F1 don't run the TV output on it.
No.
And I was watching a great video on YouTube, and I'm annoyed now that I can't remember the name of the channel, which I want to give kudos to, who stated how terrible the TV coverage was. That every time there was like the one overtaking opportunity for Vettel, and they cut away to someone coming out of the pits, and how this one company has only ever done the TV coverage, where F1 aren't involved in it. They make requirements of them, but they're not involved in it. So the TV coverage is shite as well, and there's no overtaking. So if you've got like two cars overtaking in the whole race, and the TV coverage as well is just cutting away to, I don't know, someone scratching their ass in the pits, that's going to compound it as well. That's obviously going to compound it,
especially when there's better, or not better, but from a production point of view, if there's an easier place to set it all up, to bring the cars to set up, you get a longer weekend, so you get more people in. You get a 4 or 5 day weekend. You have build-up events. You have Formula 2. You have Formula 3. You have WC.
They have a lot of legacy races as well. They're really good to watch if you watch those. So they'll drive around all the old cars.
Yeah, you can do that, but it's only a 3-day event now, right?
Yeah.
It's just, they've only got the Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, yeah, because they dropped the Thursday.
Yeah, right. So that's less money they can get. So if you've got given the option of Vegas where you can do 4 days or 5 days with W Series and all the rest and have the massive circus turn up into town, and the coverage is better, the cars can get serviced better, there's bigger pit areas, there's better. Look at the corporate hospitality up here,
And look at that. Right, but look at that. Vettel in his Ferrari there. Always up to date on this podcast.
Yeah. But do you know what I mean? As a promoter and as a company that are going, where are we going next? What's going to be easiest? Where are we going to make the most money? They're not going to go somewhere like that.
But it's Monaco. It's got the name.
It was a German Grand Prix as well.
What, you're talking Nürburgring?
Yeah, they dropped that, didn't they?
They dropped that because Niki Lauda got toasted.
Well, why are they still all the other? Why are we still? Well, we've gone back to Imola.
Who got toasted at Imola?
Was it Imola or where was
Oh, sorry. Oh, fuck. Jesus.
Yeah, it was Imola.
San Marino. Is that Imola, San Marino? Oh, Jesus Christ.
No!
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But they improved safety there. There's just no room to improve. Nuremberg, you can't. I mean, it was just too dangerous. It was just too big, too expansive. Where you're driving through the woods. I mean, that was just too big. But
Spa's up is under threat. The French Grand Prix, Paul Ricard is under threat.
Paul Ricard was gone for a long time, and it's only just been. I don't like it anyway. Don't like Paul Ricard.
The Mexican Grand Prix is under threat as well. So they're the ones that haven't got. They're in the current year. They're in the end of they're in the final year of the current contracts. France, Belgium,
are they really under threat though? I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. I can't say. I think Monaco should stay because I love it because I want to go there when they're still racing Formula 1 cars. Basically,
well, I'll tell you what,
as a personal preference.
If you're watching Liberty Media, if you're watching, Wayne says you have to keep it in. So
yeah. This one person listens to the podcast. It'll be someone from Liberty Media. But here's the reason why it's an unsuitable track. It's an unsuitable track. Now I've done extensive research.
Oh, here we go.
Using all the extensive research that I can find about why it's an unsuitable track, and here's my extensive research. It's this little book here, which I'll be now referring to extensively. This is the Collins Gem Guide to Racing Cars. Okay, now this has all the Formula 1 cars.
Just a second.
1 second.
Is that a colour publication?
It's a colour. It's printed on papaya.
Right, that means it's true then.
I tell you what, if it's printed on a book, it's true. You can't trust anything on the internet. Don't get me started with conspiracy.
Change that. Wikipedia. Wiki what? Hey.
Wikipedia's anyway. And here's my extensive research. I was looking into. I read a lot about the Monaco Grand Prix. It's not suitable. Blah blah blah. And why cars don't overtake. And we've talked about this before. Why cars don't overtake. And I thought, do you know what? I'm actually going to look into this. Okay.
Cars don't overtake, drivers overtake, just like guns don't kill people.
No. I think if you're driving a tank and a go-kart, I don't know where this analogy is going, but it's the car that can't overtake.
I'm waiting.
You wait. So you have another sip of wine while I research. So anyway, I've got my little Collins book out, right? I'm going to try and show the people on YouTube. Please, podcasters, go to YouTube because you can see how
they can't really.
They can't. All they can see is Greta.
Yeah, turn your artificial background off.
Anyway, I've got all the cars here. So I was looking at the wheelbase of these cars, and for you novices out there, including me, The wheelbase is the distance between the wheels on the cars, okay? Now,
dun, dun, dun.
dun, dun, dun. Now we're going to look at some cars because during my extensive research this week,
you haven't mentioned that you've done extensive research.
I haven't, have I? I don't like to talk about it. There's a lot of it. This is our average bog standard Formula One car, right? What's the length between there and there? What is that length? I hear you ask.
Are you sharing? No, what we're saying is, are you sharing a picture again?
I'm not sharing the screen.
For those on the podcast, he didn't share the screen.
Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. What's the length, do you reckon, between that front wheel there?
No, we're on a different picture. We're on.
Crying out loud! Crying out loud! Stop it! Stop! Now I've lost all the windows here.
Have you done this before?
I'm stopping sharing. Let me do this again. Right? Start sharing. Screen 2. Right. What's the length? What's the length between those two? Where have I done this before? Podcast number 9. Quite obviously, not enough. Okay. What's the length between those two? The front wheel and the back wheel. What do you reckon that length is? And yeah, I can hear you googling.
I'm not googling it. It's 14 feet, I think.
All right. You want to go old money? Do you? Is that what you want to do? What's that in inches? What's that in inches?
4.2 meters.
Okay, what? No, I've only got it written down here in inches, so we can be here all day. I've got 146 inches.
I had 168.
Which is 372 centimeters, right?
142?
146. This is 2019 car, I think. This is a 2019. And obviously I'm going to get my throw in the way if it's not the right car. Okay? Now I've got to find the goddamn picture of the car I was looking at. I was looking at this car and I was thinking, this car just looks like it's so stumpy. Here's the car I was looking at. Okay? Now, this is a 1981 Williams car. This is Keke Rosberg, Nico's daddy. I don't know where he's driving. Don't ask me that. I don't know any of that stuff, okay? What do you reckon the distance between these two are? I mean, I can tell you now, using my Colin...
I'd say that's 120 inches, 10 feet.
You're saying that's 10 feet. So what are you saying the difference is?
It's 2 feet shorter.
Okay.
The wheelbase.
Okay, here we go.
Or 24 inches shorter.
Extensive research from my Collins
GM
guide. They can't see it, no, that's all right. Nor can the podcast listeners, all right? Just shut up. Right, let's flick through this highly academic book and find Williams. And I get to the wheelbase dimensions. That's 105 inches, 266 centimeters. Let me just see. And what you'll find is all the cars up to 1985, right, from Formula One starting, is knocking around 100 and 109 to 110 inches between the wheelbase. Okay, the wheelbase on the cars
around about between 8.5 and 9 feet.
Yeah, there's about 3 feet, 3 feet 4 inches difference. That's what it is. That's a long piece. That's 3 feet 4 inches. I'm sure any lady out there would say that's a long distance. It's just look at it. You can just see. Now maybe they need to do that for safety. I mean, where are old Hammy's legs fitting in there? They're probably behind the front wheel here. I just find when you're talking a street circuit, the cars are too long. It's like trying to agree. It's like,
and that's part of the plan, part of the long-term plan. Ross Brawn, who is F1, nothing to do with Liberty Media. Nothing to do with Liberty Media.
You've really got it in for Liberty Media, haven't you?
No, but it's who designs what, right? Ross Brawn and the F1.
Right.
And Ross Brawn's the man you want to be helping design the regulations for cars, don't you? So
he is. Well, he's not. He's a team principal, though, isn't he? He's not designing the car. He's not Gordon Murray or anybody.
No, but he obviously got the right people around him to do that. Right. So they are going to the drive shaft between the power unit and the gearbox.
The engine to anybody else listening.
Well, it's not the engine; it's a power unit because the engine it's got an electric motor on it. The engine has an electric motor on it, which is the MC UK.
My car's got an electric motor somewhere on it, isn't it? My car, my Seat Alhambra.
That's a starter motor, mate. That's something different.
Oh, shh.
Right, but what they're going to do is they're going to shorten the output shaft and bring the gearbox and the engine closer together so the wheelbase gets smaller to facilitate what you're saying. And they've acknowledged that there is an issue with the length of the car.
Jesus, how long has it taken them to acknowledge that?
Yeah, but it's crept up over the years. You know, how long did it crept up?
But it didn't creep up. I'm just going to show the listeners again, the watchers on the pod. It's not crept. According to my Collins Gem racing car extensive fact book, it's not crept up for like 70 years. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, and then all of a sudden it's like, what? Oh, another inch. I know there are so many double entendres going on here that could be said, but we're professional podcasters. But I think
that would imply we get paid.
You what? What?
If we were professional, it would imply
we're not getting paid. No, we're not getting paid. No one has bought us even so much as a cup of coffee so far. But the point is, I was watching a Grand Prix, an old Grand Prix, because you know it's me, and I was just looking at this Williams going round a circuit, which I'm going to segue into our last second to final circuit, the second to final segment, and just looking at it, thinking how short it was.
Yeah.
Now there might be safety implications for having a nose this short. I mean, there might be safety implications, and with all the new safety regulations, it just might not be possible to shorten.
I mean, his feet must be in between the Leyland symbol and the one below that.
Well, actually, you say that. There is. I've got some pictures I wanted to just show you.
Is there a cutaway of it?
Why would you do this to me? As you finish your glass, that's what it is, isn't it? You just want to get a little top up of a glass of wine and go, yeah, find me a picture.
Mine's down the fridge, mate. It's 3 miles away.
Right, so where are you? What? It's 3 miles away.
I'm in Melbourne, mate. Look,
Melbourne. Shit, sorry. I've just shattered the illusion, broken the fourth wall, third wall, whatever.
I've got to go all the way down to corporate hospitality, which is down the other end of the pit.
Yeah. Have you got the right pass? No. Well, so there are safety implications, I think, for having the cars longer. I mean, Christ, how cocooned are these braces? So
let me see if I can find a picture of the monocoque. Then there's another one for you.
Mm-hmm. You said the word cock. I'm gonna move past it. Shut the windows that I've shown.
Monocoque. That's about as much as you. I'm too worried
about. Okay, gonna move past that. Oh, I need to shut the window there. We're going to keep that window open because we're going to move on. It's a seamless segue. Well, that's right. I had a little folder, didn't I? I actually made a folder on my desktop for things I wanted to show on the podcast to people who are listening to it.
It's brilliant when you're really organized and then you forget how organized you are.
I forget how organized I am, and then it just all goes out the window once we click start. Here we go. Oh, there's all the bloody pictures I was looking at. Right, okay.
All right, you got WhatsApp open, have you?
Oh no. Let me open it.
Because for some reason it's not letting me paste images.
Share screen?
Oh yeah, I could do that, eh?
Yeah. Sorry, listeners. If you're still listening, please go to the YouTube channel. You can see our pasty, horrible faces as well, and see how red my face is. So, what are we doing now, sir? What are we doing?
I'm going to share the screen with you.
Okay.
And show you a picture of the monocoque.
Again. Okay, I'm not going to push that button again. Just grow up. Right, share the screen. Here we go. Okay. And that's
right. So that's the piece supplied by Formula One.
Right.
That's an old one though. An older one. But gives you an idea of what the size of it. So the pedals must be under here. That's why they've got the access there to get the feet in. And then that's the output for the pedals.
Right. And I just shot that blooming picture of Hammy's car and that Williams. So that guy, the Williams guy, his feet are here. They must be. Because his feet were way in front of the. His feet
yeah. This is
from now looking at that monocoque.
Yeah.
I mean, really? That's what they supplied? Did they give that wheel? Look, I mean, look, you're showing me pictures of Ron Dennis and who's that? John Barnard there. And that's
that might have been the monocoque from then.
Oh, see, and you.
Yeah, it is. There you go.
That's an 80s monocoque. That's what you were trying to show me the monocoque now. What's the monocoque now look like? Can you do that? Leave that open. We'll put that on another page. I'm trying to swipe on it and I can't do that. So what's this? That looks like F1 monocoque simulator. Because it's got a round steering wheel and there's no buttons on it. So that obviously is an 80s. If you're listening on the podcast, listeners, we're really sorry. We've let you down, and we know we've let you down because we've lost a lot of downloads. But go pop along to the YouTube channel, the Effing One Show Podcast, and you can see how incompetent we are. What are we looking at? Look at that. What is that? Jesus. Okay.
That'll be the size of it there.
That looks like it's made out of Lego. Don't play the video. That'll be it. That'll be it. We'll be doomed. There. Right. Okay. So the grey area, the minimum allowed cover. We're going to have to look at. Am I going to have to look into this? Because this looks just like.
Well, I reckon that's the monocoque there.
Okay.
That the grey and the blue part, or the red and the blue section, is the monocoque.
Right.
So that's the sort of defining length. Then you've got the engine and the gearbox at the back.
Oh, thanks for that. Thank you for that information.
That's the area they're going to shorten there.
They're going to shorten that. How's that going to?
You can't
shorten. Well, obviously you can, but
you can't shorten the monocoque.
It would have implications on safety, and
unless you just
I'm
going
to show you why.
I'm
going to show you why. Okay. So I think this is a perfect segue. We're going to move into nostalgia, and we're going to talk about Las Vegas because it's coming back. It's back. Are you excited? Are you excited about Las Vegas coming back?
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. It looks like a good circuit that they've laid out.
Do you want to see what the circuit? How long is it? What?
6 kilometers, I think, is it?
It's almost like they've gone away and thought about it because they did it twice, 1981, 1982, or was it? Oh, Jesus! I've watched both the races. I don't even know why I'm doubting what I saw with my own eyes. It's 1981 and 1982. They raced in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace. They didn't even call it the Las Vegas Grand Prix. They called it the Caesar Palace Grand Prix. Why do you think they called it the Caesar Palace Grand Prix?
That was the main sponsor.
It was in their car park. I mean,
is that a car park?
In a car park. Let me show you. And so, let's move towards nostalgia. Oh, first of all, let's have a Murray. Are you looking?
Unless I'm very much mistaken.
Okay. And now we're going to stay straight ahead into nostalgia because we've still got the predictions to do for the next race, haven't we, sir? That's what we've got to do. Yeah. So we're going to now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about nostalgia because there's been no race this week. So I thought I'd look into this Las Vegas and I'd look into the last time Las Vegas had some kind of Formula One race, and I watched both races. Well, I didn't watch them entirely. I watched some kind of highlights, and it was very interesting. And immediately I've forgotten 95% of what happened in those races because I'm me. But we're going to talk about these races because they're very interesting anyway. So here is nostalgia. Okay, we're back. Nostalgia. Okay. As you know, Brendan, we were returning to Las Vegas, so I wanted to...
Yes,
we are. Have you stopped sharing the screen? So you have, haven't you? So we're going to share the screen now. Share screen. I'll just share this. We're going to get Albert Park briefly, okay? But then I'm going to show you what the Las Vegas track looked like, and it was called the Caesar's Palace Grand Prix, okay? And this is what the track looked like. First of all, I'm going to get rid of you. There you go. This is what the Caesar Palace Grand Prix looked like. I've pulled out this small image because this is like an aerial photo. I wanted to show you what it actually looked like because it was in the Caesar Palace's car park. Now, what's astounding is how fucking big is the car park? I mean, for the love of God, how many people are going there? I mean, look at it. So we raced there when I say we, the Formula One raced there between 1981 and 1982.
And the highlights you watched, was it an interesting race?
It was interesting because it was the last race of the season and both were title deciders. So it was interesting. Right. I'm going to show you another picture of the circuit in their car park. So I don't know what that is there. Let's get rid of that. I don't even know what that is there. Okay. It's like a three-fingered kind of weird thing. No DRS back then. Didn't have to worry about it. Now, here's the interesting. What do you think the most interesting thing about this track is? Have a look at it. This is a little pop quiz for everyone. Just zoom in. Right, the start's here. Right. What do you think the major problem for the drivers was? Now, a lot of the problems were it's in the desert. So a lot of problems you had was sand. Just gets blowing over the car park. Even though it's in the city's in the desert, and the sand just blows over it because it's... What do you think
the grey line along the bottom from corner 13, is that the pit lane?
Oh, you do it every time. I don't know. I'm presuming so. Yeah, it must be. Yeah, Christ, yeah. That's the pit lane. That's a long old pit straight there. So the major problem was... What do you think the major problem was? I'll give you three guesses.
Overheating.
Oh, first of all, if you're listening on the podcast, please just go over to YouTube because you're going to see the pictures of this circuit. Overheating. That's not a bad little guess because the track temperature was in excess of 40 degrees. It was ridiculous. People were passing out. And there's a great... No, that's another Grand Prix. That's the Nigel Mansell. But the heat exhaustion was phenomenal. But what do you think the other thing was? It's actually ridiculously obvious when you think about it, right? But you got to think. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Is that 10 seconds? I don't know.
The length of the corners? I don't know.
It goes anti-clockwise. I nearly said cock.
So what? There's anti-clockwise circuits on the calendar now?
Back then there wasn't. There was not anti-clockwise. And what was happening was Grand Prix racers to their necks couldn't deal with it. So they're going around the track and near the end of the race, and if you go back and watch it on I'm going to shamelessly plug F1 TV because actually I think if you're into the nostalgia side of F1, it's a really good service. You can watch all the old races. But if you go back and watch it, all the Grand Prix drivers just couldn't deal with the fact that it was going anti-clockwise. So all their neck muscles were geared towards going clockwise. So constant left turning. And you watch it at the end of the race, their heads are just like, like a newborn's baby's head, they're just all over the place. They couldn't last the race, and a lot of the drivers were constantly complaining about the pain they were feeling in their necks going around this circuit. It's like you're actually astounded. You're actually astounded that I gave you a fact that was kind.
I like that.
Finally, 9 podcasts in, I'm going to drink to that. I'm going to give myself a round of applause.
Right, so show us the new track then. Have you got that lined up?
No, I'm talking. This is nostalgia, mate.
All right, okay.
This is nostalgia. No, this is where I was actually looking at the Williams, because Keke Rosberg won his championship in 1982 here, because he won the race and he took the championship. Did he win the race? Shit, now I can't see. Now this is the problem. I'm old. I watched both races. I was writing. Do you know what? Let's just Google it. Damn it! Damn you, Google. Caesars Palace F1 race. Okay. I watched it, and I watched both the races that were held there. Caesars Palace, the history. So, Formula One went there in 1981. Well, it says it's last held in 1984, but I don't think that was a Formula One race meeting. Alan Jones won it to win the championship in 1981, and Michele Alboreto won it in 1982. But I think if we look, let's have a look at the race report for that. This is 1982 Caesars Palace. I think it sealed the championship. Yeah, Michele Alboreto, God rest his soul, he's no longer with us. He won it. Keke Rosberg. Did Keke Rosberg come? Oh, see, now I'm all over the show. I did all this research into this race. What I was going to show you as well is how they dealt with the neck issue. Now, I've got an image that I took from the race, and this is Rupert Keegan, who is an old Formula One driver. So they used like a metal brace to stop their heads.
Oh yeah,
just flopping. Just like, how are we going to solve that? Oh, and it looks really basic, but actually that would kind of just work. It's almost like Occam's razor, where the simplest solution is the best. So they had this as part. Can you see my thumbs in the photo I took there? Yeah. But this is Rupert Keegan's. I've got another photo of it here. He's driving.
Yeah, that's good. That.
So they just stopped their heads.
Ahead of the time.
They were ahead of their time. If only they put like some kind of seatbelt, because there is that helmet thing they brought in to stop drivers who have high impacts breaking their necks. In the 1981 race, like we were talking about, when I say we, it's me, isn't it? Basically, there was a crash by Patrick Tornberg, and this is what I wanted to show you. So we were talking about the length of the cars and how maybe can we get these cars a little bit shorter. Well, Patrick Tornberg had this crash in 1981, and this is going to be pixelated. I'm really sorry, you can't find a good picture of it. There's another one here. Let's see if this one's better. This is it. He had a crash. Oh, Jesus. Just screen it over. He had a crash, and he could walk out of the car from the front.
Wow. Because it ripped apart.
Well, I don't know what happened. So you'd never get that now. You see this a lot in a lot of the crashes in IndyCar in the early 80s, where the whole front is destroyed, and he literally stepped out of the car that way. I tried to get another shot of it. I could show you a video, but there would be copy strike of him just getting up and standing outside and going. He must have thought, "Wow, I've still got legs." But this is what I was talking about the shortness and the stumpiness of the front of these cars back then. But yeah, but the Caesars Palace Las Vegas Grand Prix, there's a couple of other pictures I wanted to show you. There's some lovely artwork going on here. This is the Caesars Palace artwork for the poster. And if you zoom in, if the whole thing's this is the official poster for it. The whole thing's hand drawn.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Someone's drawn the whole thing, and there's an official poster, Caesar's Palace. So they never called it the Las Vegas Grand Prix. They called it the Caesar's Palace, which is logical because it was in the car park. But and then I got a little bit distracted by Rupert Keegan, and then I found a photo of this, and I just suddenly thought, yeah, this dude's worth investigating further, and maybe we should investigate this guy further. He was not the most successful Formula One driver, but when you see a photo like that, I think
he's not doing too badly.
He apparently he was rocking it big time. Sorry, that's a little bit of nostalgia for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. I've got all the facts wrong, as I always will, but I think if you want to watch it, you know, go back on. I'm going to shameless plug for F1 TV, but go back and watch it. It's really interesting to watch all those old races. There you go. And that is the end of nostalgia. Should we have an applause? And we have one more Murray. We'll have one more Murray, and then we're going to go to predictions. I think we've got to do our predictions because the time's getting on. Jeez.
Yeah.
Good time. Okay. So it's Murray up there.
Ding dong, are we going to see a race now?
I want to watch a net. It's like being at the Las Vegas Grand Prix going anti-clockwise. Okay, we're going to do our predictions.
I put it to riot.
Everyone else has gone on.
Right, let's do predictions. Right, okay. Brendan, what are you doing? It's Australia.
Oh,
Australia. Who's going to win this race? Who's going to win this race? Should I do mine first? Can you?
Yeah.
While I'm doing mine, can you find out the fastest lap? Now they've changed it, so they reckon you can add another 4 seconds. That's what they reckon. So
it's going to add 4 seconds.
Yeah, apparently. So find out a lap. Right, what am I going to do? I feel like I want to put K-Mag a little bit higher. Where is K-Mag's theme tune? Where is it? It's there, isn't it? Okay, K-Mag. Right, K-Mag. I'm going to put him 9th. He's solid. Just grow
solid
up.
Performer or solid in the abs?
No, you've ruined it. You've I look solid there. Look at him. Right, okay. I'm going to put K-Mag there. Right, Science. I reckon he's chomping at the bit. I think I'm going to say this. I think Ferrari have settled already. I think Science is number 2. This is what I'm doing.
Wow.
Going there. I'm gonna
go. Really?
Oh, he's just throwing these drivers about. I think there. I'm literally just throwing these puppy dogs about here now. Gasly's. Look at no thought. This is a new experience, new cars, new track. It's like a new car, new track. Come on.
Mick Schumacher hasn't driven this track.
What are you trying to tell me? He's going to finish second from last. Come on, the guy's over. He's over.
You think?
Yeah. Should I put the cat man in there? No. I just wanted to say that so I could put the cat sound effect on. Who have we got the best of the rest now? Who have I not put on there? At some point, yes, he's back. He's going to show the Hulk what he should be doing. Norris. Ricardo, no. There you go. I'm just doing it quickly now. You can tell I've had a half a bottle of wine. Okay. And Pole?
I reckon.
Pole Leclerc. Go.
I reckon Verstappen.
It's going to win it.
Verstappen, Leclerc.
Slowly.
Perez.
Have I got 2 Perez's? Have I got to make another Perez? Where's copy? Oh dear. Now I've pasted it. I don't know where he's gone. Where's he gone? Where's my new Perez gone?
Left hand side beside.
There we go. Perez.
Sainz.
You're doing this because you can see the drivers. You're not doing it.
Russell.
Am I going? There we go. I've got about 3 Russells here. We were very.
Bottas down the bottom right.
Bottom right. Where? There.
Yeah, he's there, as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Ricard, no, not Danny Rick.
He's doomed. Danny Rick's over.
Yeah, Hamilton 7th. Gasly 8th.
You can tell we're in unknown territory. And
I've got Russell, Hamilton. Who am I missing from there?
You could stick an Alonso in there.
Alonso. Alonso and have I used Gasly yet? Oh yeah, this did. Alonso 9.
He can come in 2 places. Oh Jesus Christ!
That's
right. Okay. Come grow up. Norris. Norris in there.
10, Alonso 9 and Norris 10. Yeah.
Yeah. I can sense your flagging here. What's the lap record on this?
So,
who's got pole first? Who's pole? Who's pole?
Leclerc.
Did you just do that? So I had to make a new one.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's been 2. This is the 3rd iteration of Albert Park track. The first one was from 1953 to 58.
Oh wow! Someone's got Google open. Go on.
It was 5 kilometers long, and it was Stirling Moss in a time of 1 minute 50. Okay.
How many world championships did Stirling Moss win?
None.
Well done. You learned that from me, didn't you?
Nope. I googled it at the weekend. Then from 96 to 2020, there were 16 turns. The length of the track was 5.3 kilometers. And who had the lap time of 1 minute 24?
Sorry, what? Sorry. Are we on a podcast?
Who held the lap record of 1 minute 24?
From what year? Sorry, what year was this?
It was in. If I tell you the year, you'll get it. Lap record of 1 minute 24.
Give me a decade. Give me the decade.
It's 2000s.
It's going to be Schumacher.
Yeah, 2004.
Thank you. Thank you, podcast listeners. If you're still here, podcast listeners, please check us out on YouTube. We're a little bit more entertaining, only a little bit more. Or buy us a coffee, or like and subscribe. Anyway, go on.
Mash the button. New track length is 5.3 kilometers.
Even we're bored, listeners. Right, let's do the lap record. Who's going to get the lap record for this?
I reckon Perez.
You still got hope. You still got hope in that.
You said 4 seconds, didn't you? So I reckon.
You've still got a lot of hope for Perez, haven't you? You still got
he's a solid number 2.
Yeah, but he's a number 2. He's a solid number 2. It's just anyway. Go on. So I'm gonna go lap
I'll
record.
say 129.6.
Okay. You're saying 1.29. What is it? 4, 6. What?
Yeah, 3.
3. Just copy and paste that into mine. There. And I'm going to say 4. No, that's not. No, because we're now arguing, aren't we? I'm going to say 6. I'm going to get closer. 4, 6, 6. Okay, lap time. That's me, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Half a bottle of wine in, I don't know. Lap time is going to be. I'm going to say Verstappen.
Okay.
I'm going to put that in block capitals because this is the kind of guy I am after 3/4 of a bottle of wine.
Crazy.
Okay, so let's just zoom out so that when I forget where this document is being saved, it's on the podcast. Okay, so I do think there's going to be a lot of shenanigans over DRS, and I think there's going to be a massive rethink. This is my predictions, proper predictions now, about DRS in conjunction with these new cars. That's my little prediction. It's my little
right.
Yeah. Have you got anything, any controversial things you want to talk about quickly before we sign off? Or one more, Murray?
No. Are you going up to watch it at 6 in the morning? What's that about?
Oh, fuck. See, this is what we were talking about before. I do want to see a race in daylight, though. I don't want to see constant fucking night races. But you got to get. I am going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning because, I will do. Yeah, because I'm not working. So,
I think I might be as well. We were trying to. We'll talk off here.
We'll talk off here. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey everybody.
Yeah. No,
let's have one more Murray because we can't leave without getting Murray involved.
So easy to get it wrong.
I hope you're not going
That was Murray. That was Murray.
I hope you're not going to do a Monty Python foot one week on me.
What? I'll put what?
A Monty Python foot.
Yeah, I didn't steal that. I come at that all by myself. Okay, so that's been the F1 podcast, people. And we'll speak to you next week after the race. Thank you very much. Yeah. I've been your host for the most with half a bottle of wine down me. And it's been the man in the pits with the tits, Brendan. Thank you very much, everybody.
There you go.